Hey, Jen.
Hey, Dana.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hypnosis.
And beyond.
Today, we have the honor of speaking to Jordan Wolan. She is a certified hypnotherapist, sound healing facilitator, Reiki, and does therapeutic imagery. She is inclusive and affirming for all identities. Hey, Jordan.
Hey,
Hey,
Jordan.
Dana. Hey, Jen.
Welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you so much.
Well, we know you're such a dynamic person and you've got so many things happening. What do we get to talk about today?
Yeah, well, this is Hypnosis and Beyond, right? So we'll go somewhere. We'll go a lot of places today.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I'm excited to share a little bit about my journey, what got me here, and what I'm doing now. And yeah.
Wonderful. Well, let's hear it. We're
Okay, where do I
excited.
start? Well, I know that I met you at HypnoThoughts this past summer, and I was there presenting on sound healing. So that's something that has been a part of my practice that is more recent. But I did start out as a hypnotherapist 10 years ago. And then I've been in practice since then and started incorporating sound into it in 2022. So I've been playing the crystal bowls, Tibetan bowls, and just using that in my practice, using that along with my practice in different ways. And I found that it's a beautiful modality that also helps me as a practitioner to calm myself, to get quiet. That's a very grounding force in my life. So I just find that I'm getting so into that like, even more with the healing that you can do with this modality. Um, yeah.
That's just fascinating. Um did you just go to a sound bath and it interested you, or what led you to doing sound healing?
Yeah, so I had been to a sound bath in a church and it was attended by like there must have been at least there were like maybe 200 people in this church. And the person that was doing it, it was a whole team of people and they had like the whole front area was full of bowls and gongs and it just was such a beautiful experience. It was very immersive. There was lights happening. It was just like this collective like gorgeous like spiritual experience, and I felt the music, I felt the frequency, the bowls, everything going through me, and it just put me in such a relaxed state that at the time I just was like, wow, this is incredible. That I don't, I didn't, it didn't occur to me that I'd be doing this a few years later. That but just looking for something during the pandemic and after what we had all been through, I was just like, it just came to me, why not start to learn this? Because this is, I've always wanted to find ways to bring something that would help to my community. So I just saw myself doing it. And then I reached out for a teacher to learn. And I remember reaching out to someone. I tried a few different people, tried to connect. And then the one I connected with, we were able to do Zoom training. So I did this through Zoom and in my home had a basic set of bowls that I found on Facebook Marketplace, and I just started going and she taught me how to do it intuitively. So that was ever since then I've been doing it. I've been sharing it with my community. I've been doing it online, much better in person, but I've been doing it in different places around Los Angeles, which is where I live. So
Wow, that's amazing. Well, so then if you've been doing hypnosis, or hypnotherapy for even longer, what started you down that road? And do you have certain specialties that you do, or
yeah, so the way that I found hypnosis, I was not expecting to go into this industry. I had no idea that this existed. Um, and I'd been through a lot of therapy in my life, having been a person with a lot of anxiety and some depression from childhood, which we could go into if you want later. But it was hypnosis was really new to me, and someone said, you should see my mentor. Like they're really good. And I was going through a really tough time, a really challenging relationship and breakup at the time. So I'd been through therapy. I knew what that was like. And I said, let me try this hypnosis thing. And at the time I was learning about Reiki. And this person was also doing Reiki as well. So it just was a natural, weird synchronicity to discover this whole type of, of just working with hypnosis. It was very strange to me. Um, but what really helped, so I lived in Tarzana at the time, and there's this hypnosis school, and you see the sign on the freeway as you drive by. So I was seeing that all the time, but I didn't really make the connection. And then when I went in there, I was just blown away. I walked into a past life regression workshop, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And started just threw myself into it, started training, did the program, and worked with my mentor to get through what I was going through. It was a really dark place in my life, and I just found that everything about it was just it just worked so well, that and it was fun and it was relaxing, and it just was like immediate. It was so fast, and I appreciated that. Getting to the results like right away, not having to just kind of um like traditional therapy, we take a long time to kind of go into things. This one just really helped me get the results that I wanted, and I found out I could do that. I found out what the training was like, and then I ever since then it's just been continuous, like learning and growing, and just over the years, just each level, just I get more and more excited about it and what we can do. So,
Yeah, it's powerful stuff. I attended that same college as well,
yes,
so
I
I
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
um, you can really learn some really interesting things. It's amazing how dynamic hypnosis is. There's so many schools around the world, so many teachers, and there isn't just one way of doing it. So I just find that it's interesting how you talk about, learning more. You're still learning more. You've been in the industry for 10 years and you're still, constantly learning more.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like when I came out of HMI and I was like, okay, I know everything. I feel really confident. And then I went to the first like conference, and then I was like, I know nothing. So there's been periods in my life where I'm like, I don't know anything. And then there's periods of like, oh, it's clicking, and I'm using like this like Ericksonian over here. I'm using imagery. I'm using the meta pattern, and now it's starting to blend into all different it's just clicking again. So I feel like I'm at this good place, but there's always so much more to learn.
Yeah.
Right now I'm really into conversational hypnosis and NLP, and the meta pattern has been like my obsession this year.
Jen, you probably have something to say about that.
But the meta pattern,
Yeah. Just in conversational hypnosis.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, conversation. What's not to like about it, right? To have
Yeah.
hypnosis and conversation. I mean, we're doing it anyway, so why not be more aware of what we're doing, especially when we're doing it therapeutically, right? So I'm just imagining you doing conversation, and then how do you incorporate your Reiki and the music? Like, if somebody comes to you, are they kind of going to do everything? Are they going to go through the Reiki treatment and then have the music? Like, how do you know
Yeah.
a client that's right for everything, or are they just, once they get this experience, they're just all ready for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do a lot of different things. So sometimes it depends where I am or what I have with me. I will get people that want specifically hypnosis. I had a caller, a client the other day, they wanted to just do NLP. And when I explained what it was, they said, "Is that hypnosis?" They didn't understand. So it depends who I'm with. With Reiki, they want Reiki specifically, and I'll usually combine like a relaxation or imagery with that, or depending on what they want. I've even brought tarot into this, tarot cards with a breakthrough at the end. Like I've been able to combine different modalities. And lately with my sound baths that I do, I'm bringing in something at the beginning. Maybe there's a theme, like we're working on boundaries today, or we're connecting with a wise advocate today, and then we go into a sound bath. Or another favorite is we're going to bring in hypno-psychedelics today. So we're going to do a psychedelic experience, and then we're going to go into a sound bath. So I've learned that just to play with it, to have fun. And usually the people that show up, um, I'm very much like I want to know what people want to get, what their intention is, and I'll create something. So it allows me to be very creative and to use all the different areas that I work with. So generally, a lot of my community right now, which is actually the LGBTQ community, is where I do a lot of my work, being someone that has a female partner. So in our community, there's so much anxiety and there's so much stress happening. So a lot of times they just want an escape. They want a place that where they can relax and feel safe and just cry. So I'm a lot of people are drawn to me because I hold a very safe space for them to be seen and to like let go of all that stuff. And that's what I bring to my events. So
That's amazing. I mean, I think we all need a safe space. And so I wonder, are there certain frequencies that you gravitate to when you have certain sort of topics that or themes, you know? Or do you just go with what feels right?
yeah, so sometimes I'll bring if I want to do a lot of like releasing, I might be or like breath work, I might bring a gong with me, which is a very intense instrument. So we might have people doing some breath work and then releasing into the gong, which can be pretty scary, intense sound. Or I might have the with the crystal bowls, I'll work a lot with the like G note or the C note, which correspond to different areas and to help people feel more in their body and grounded and rooted. And then like G is for the voice, the throat. So I'll be using different notes to intentionally affect different places. So sometimes the sound bath might be more about grounding or more about like feeling confidence or love. These are all frequencies that I play with the corresponding notes and chakras. So there's a little bit of intuiting what's needed. Drumming, I've started to bring in drumming and flute and just a lot of other instruments, and to see where that comes from. And a lot of it is intuitively guided, and some of it is just knowing what notes sound well together and will like produce a binaural sound.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that's going on as I'm kind of channeling this and like creating a journey. And I sometimes feel like I'm going on that journey with people. Like I can imagine like where they're going. I can kind of get flashes of like we're going down the river or through the jungle right now, and it can be very when we're done. I've been on a journey, just like my participants. We've all gone somewhere, so it's quite a healing experience for me as well as I'm doing it.
Amazing. And I love that you talk about having flashes of where they might be. I experience that too in hypnosis. I imagine Jennifer, you do that with your clients as well, where if if they are going somewhere specific, like I find I can see that or feel that, and you just sort of are helping what you imagine they're going through or what it feels like they're going through.
Yeah, and I think it's important for us as hypnotists to put ourselves in that state first. So we lead the way. So I'll be taking the breaths with them and I'll be putting myself in that state to kind of um, to pace it. So I
Yeah.
sometimes will get a flash of where they are or a color or something, and I'll mention it later, and then we'll have seen the same thing sometimes, which is a really cool
Yeah.
effect of having done this work for this long.
Super cool.
Well, listening to some of your talk, I just thought it would be fun to ask you about just like you were saying, how it's almost like being addicted to shoes or whatever you're addicted to. Like it's
Yeah.
not a cheap addiction, right? So, like for somebody just getting into this, like what does it cost? And like, can you give us an idea of like what this looks like?
Oh God. Okay. So with sound healing, so you want to have some instruments. So there, I would suggest starting off in like Facebook Marketplace or somewhere like buying a used set, or you can just make an investment. Like part of that is the energy of putting something towards you're committing yourself to something you want to learn. And, of course, you're going to start out in this place and then want like a better thing or a more professional thing or whatever. There's a lot that comes into that with deciding what the quality or like where, but it just get even just one bowl that you feel drawn to is a good place to start. So starting off with what you have, sometimes you'll get gifted something, and sometimes you'll just know or you'll get a feeling of what you need to complete this experience. So I found that I started out with a small investment of it was about, oh, my first gong was about $500, and that was a big deal. And when that thing came in, it it was like Christmas Day. It was like this 20, it's just 28 inches, which is like tiny compared to these like 40-inch things that are huge. When this came in, I was like, this is a big investment. It made me a little nervous, right? So you feel that. And then, but you can never have enough bowls. There's always like, oh, I need this one more, I need a bigger one, or I need this thing. So you have to be able to say, stop, I have enough, I'm good. I have a full orchestra right now. But there's always, how many flutes do you need? Some people have like 20 flutes. It's like it can be a very joyous hobby that just brings delight to everyone. So it's worth it. But yeah, I've seen you could spend this for the price of a car. You could buy a gong, it just depends on your budget. I love that question. Yeah, there's a lot of that goes into the moving of objects from place to place as well. So,
What's
yeah,
really funny is when I did buy a singing bowl, and apparently I
yeah,
got some great deal, so I had to get it, right?
a good
And
deal.
it was more expensive than I thought it would be, but of course I gravitated to the most expensive bowl. So apparently, like everything else, I have to like the most expensive bowl.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So I don't
Yeah,
know if there's a sound of expense, but whatever. Yeah.
yeah, it's just whatever budget you have, like, yeah, whatever you can find or yeah, but it's endless. It's that's what's wonderful about it. You can get obsessed with like there's this thing called a shruti box, which is a box with you just push it and the air goes in and out like kind of like an accordion, but it's like a droning sound. So, I don't have one yet, but I got obsessed with that for a minute. Do I really need this? So
I
if
love
anyone's
it.
listening there, but yeah.
Oh, so should we set up a GoFundMe for that?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, Patreon.
Hey, why
Yeah, yeah,
not?
got it. I thought about it. Um,
I love it. Yeah, well, and I think too, you have to get something that you're going to use. We've all bought a very expensive something, right? A sweater or a platter or something, and you never use it, and you bought it, and then you turn around and you buy a very cheap t-shirt or something, and you wear it all the time. So
yeah,
it's like if the price almost isn't as important as what is something you're actually going to use. Um, I know personally, I spend time, you know, researching things, and but ultimately, the question I always ask myself is, am I going to actually use it?
right. Yeah, and there's always this feeling of like you have sometimes you want to gift it to someone else and then something else will come in or change, what you're working with. But yeah, it's hard to resist though when you hear you're in the middle of a sound bath and you're like this voice comes in. You really need another G bowl that's like 22 inches and you're like, "No, I'm good." So it's a lot of resisting these, I really need that energy, which I guess that's we help our clients with being impulsive. So it's
Is that a part that we have to
something.
deal with, Jordan?
A what?
Is that
Yeah,
a
it is.
part we have
Hard
to do it?
Yeah, like, I can tell you what I need right now, and I'm like, "No, I have enough. I've got it." Yeah.
Well, we were curious whether any of the bowls that you have might be conducive or anything that you might be able to share with us. Is that a possibility or
Yeah, I can show you a couple of things. What I have with me here is, I'll show you a Tibetan bowl.
Ooh,
Can you see that?
yes,
You can see that.
beautiful.
Um, so Tibetan bowls are, it's kind of hard to say what notes they are because they sometimes change. There's a tuning app that you can use. But the bowls I have here are a couple of them I'll bring out. First of all, so this sounds like this.
Man, I can't hear that.
Are you able to hear it?
No.
No? Okay. All right. I'll show you another type of instrument. Can you hear this?
Yes. Like wind chimes? Can you hear it, Jen?
Not really, but it's strange.
I
Like,
know it is strange. Jordan, I have some tuning forks and I've tried to play them for Jen to, oh, listen to my new tuning forks. And the sound doesn't translate. Is this
uh,
something that like you've said you do it over Zoom? I'm just wondering, is that the program that we're in here, or is that just putting it over the internet? I'm
Yeah,
curious. Do you
so
know?
something about that. Here, can you hear this sound?
no.
No? Okay.
See,
No.
this is
Okay.
odd. Yeah.
So,
It's so
yeah.
weird.
So the thing about sound and why
Yeah.
it's better when you're in person because you'll feel it in your body because we're vibrational beings. So everything is a vibration and energy. So sometimes when you're using it through a platform, there are certain ones that are better. There's a lot of techie stuff I had to figure out about how to bring sound through. So I'm sure this platform doesn't like allow for it, which I was curious about.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, sometimes like Instagram Live, I did a sound bath on there last like a few weeks ago, and that came through. Crystal bowls came through, and I chose instruments that I knew would work, and others that yeah, I just left them out, but that worked. So Zoom has capabilities for that. This
Yeah.
platform, not so much. This was a shaker. This is like a rattle. So these are just
Mhm.
that you'll find in a sound bath. This is a Koshi chime. So it's a used as a transitional instrument to take you from one like a bowl to another like another instrument. You can use that to transition. And shakers tend to break up the energy and kind of shake off, shake off the day, get us into the sound bath. They're used for different things. And then the crystal bowls, which I don't have with me, is a more of a droning instrument. So you'll be able to go deeper into a like a theta state, delta state through those bowls. Um, these Tibetan bowls, here's a little mini one. These are function kind of like gongs do. Like they're like the metal, like they're sort of like little gongs in your hand. So I use them for various things, but yeah,
That's fascinating. That's really fascinating. And to me, that only validates the power of sound because our voices come over just fine. I
yeah,
mean, I can hear you perfectly.
yeah,
So that's so interesting to have a sound that doesn't translate. That's
yeah,
just
and it's
fascinating.
interesting too because just doing that, I felt more relaxed. Like it dropped me into a relaxed state. My nervous system calmed down, and I'm wondering if you can feel that through the screen, just like you'd send like Reiki through a computer. People feel it on the other side. Um, so
It's so interesting.
interesting
That's
stuff.
so
Like
interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. But yeah, when I was recording, I mean, I like to do something I love to do is put myself in uncomfortable situations. Okay. So I said I'm gonna do an audio, like a sound bath online, during the pandemic, um, and just try that and learn like new gear, new technology, and just see like how let's perfect this. So a lot of that was learning how to use different settings and how to work with that. And it wasn't always perfect, but it was a learning process, and I got better from that. So it's always like I love to learn new things and like try different things and get creative and see what works. That's fascinating to me.
Have you done any recordings?
So that's next. I did hire someone to kind of go over like microphones because then you're getting into audio stuff, right?
Mhm.
So right now I'm in the middle of like the next stage for me is like, just like I was talking to you earlier, like facing my, things I'm not good at, challenging myself. So one thing I'm getting into now is recordings. So both for recording audio and also recording sound. So that requires like I'm finding an assistant to kind of help me with putting that together so that I can focus on like the what I'm doing, the information I'm putting out there and not worry about the tech stuff. Because that it's hard to hold both at the same time and be in that place, that headspace. But yeah, that's my growth edge right now is learning how to edit sound, voice, so that I can create recordings. And I would love to do audio recordings. I would love to do sound bath, like sound under the audio recording. So I'm figuring all that. That's the next growth area for me in my path.
Cool. Because I'm thinking, I'm just visualizing you working on somebody with your hands and then having your own recording in the background. That would be super cool.
Right. Yeah, I
Wouldn't
would
that
love
be
to do that.
amazing?
I
Yeah.
would love to have my sound bath in the back instead of having to, buy someone else's and stick it in there. But so we'll see what happens. This is the next direction.
It's
Awesome.
really exciting. And well, with that, that brings us to our next segment, which is our silly subconscious question. And this is just a silly off the cuff question that we wanted to ask you. Jordan, if you could uninvent anything, what would it be?
Uninvent something?
Yes.
Oh, whoa. Um, uninvent something. Yeah, I'd have to think about that for a second.
Right?
Uninvent something. Yeah, I think I need to think on that one. Um, a person could be a person.
It could be. It could be. We just
Uh,
it's just meant to whatever comes to mind, just
uninvent something.
um a silly question, but we always have other questions that we could
Yeah,
ask
yeah,
you
give me
too.
another one. Give me another one.
Okay, I'll give you
Yeah.
another one. If you could change names with a fruit, which one would you be?
If I can change names with a fruit,
Yeah.
um, let's see. Change names with a fruit, like an actual fruit that you eat.
Yeah, like what would be your new name now you're a
Ooh,
fruit?
okay.
Which
I
fruit
would
would you
be
wanna be
I would be
called?
I would be dragon fruit.
Ooh,
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
'Cause I like that. It's kind of mystical, magical,
yeah.
and I feel like we're going through I don't know, we're going through a very like a lot of transformation is happening between like this current place we're in into the next year. So like the dragon energy of charging forward with passion and with like magic and big energy, scary but beautiful.
And I've only ever had a dragon fruit drink. Have you ladies ever eaten one?
Probably it's like a weird shape.
Yeah.
Um,
They're beautiful, aren't they? With the pink
yeah,
and the white?
yeah.
Aren't those dragon fruit?
I think I'm thinking of is it the star fruit? What is
Oh,
it?
star fruits are pretty too.
I mean, yeah.
Getting thirsty.
You're getting thirsty? A good cocktail. Sounds like
Yep.
today's dragon fruit martini.
Nice.
There you go.
And
What
our
I like
next,
this
oh, sorry.
question.
Yeah, we have like an abundance of
What
questions for
what
you.
other questions
Yeah.
do you have? I don't
The next question is the beyond question. So beyond what we've chatted about today, I know that this is all just a big part of your life, but I'm sure there's something else that lights you up that maybe you want to share with us. Is there anything else?
Yeah, yeah, other yes, without going off into another direction, I don't know. So I'm starting to work with like psychedelic integration work. So holding space for people to do that type of work, in addition, using with hypnosis to continue the integration after they've had this big experience. So that's an exciting field that I'm very interested in, and holding space for
Awesome.
people in that area. Um, Very passionate about that.
Nice. Nice. Well, I that that alone could be something we would love to talk with you about sometime,
Yeah, we
uh,
don't have a lot of
when you
time.
come back.
Sure, sure.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we thank you so much for sharing some time with us today and sharing your stories and your energy, and we can't wait for your audio recording since we couldn't hear the instruments you played for us. So we'll all be looking for them.
But at the same time,
And
it was
with
kind
that,
of, oh, sorry, blah, blah, blah.
oh no, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to
No,
say it was
please,
kind of good
Jen.
that that happened though, because I think it's happening, like it's happened to us a few times. So it was good to have you say, okay, well, there's, to think about the fact that there are platforms that are more friendly to these things, just as another
Yeah,
tier of this. So that was kind of cool.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think it's fascinating. And I also think it's really interesting when things don't go as planned. And what do you do? And how do we model that for everybody? Because we're all just experimenting in life anyway, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say I just was like this might work or it might not. So I'm just, things always go wrong. Like I just plan like every time I teach a class or give a talk or something, I just I always have plan B or C. I've gotten so used to that something going wrong technologically that I just work around it and I kind of don't worry about things like that so much anymore. I worry about other ridiculous things, but
Don't we all?
right. So it's like being comfortable, being in these uncomfortable places is I really feel that most of life right now is being uncomfortable because it's just we're growing, we're trying different things, and it's just we're that's how I feel like I'm just showing up very authentically in that way and being go with the flow kind of energy. So yeah, I love when things
Absolutely.
go wrong.
It's a great place to be.
Absolutely. And showing up authentically is all we can really do, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we we only have so much control,
exactly,
even over technology. So,
exactly. We have something.
and with that, Jen, what do we always say?
Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out, everybody. Thanks for having
Thank you.
Nice.